The more someone wants to manipulate you, the lesser they will allow you to spend time with yourself. The more someone wants to manipulate you, the lesser they will allow you to spend time with yourself. The lesser they will allow you to have your time to yourself. See, when someone wants to manipulate you, or when someone is manipulating you, so the intention the very intention behind this action or this behavioral practice of manipulation is of greed, of selfishness, of a very high sense of self, which is oftentimes false. Okay, so when someone has that intention of greed underlying everything they do or every behavior they practice, then this person, when someone has an intention of greed behind everything they do or say or pretend, that person's one hidden aim is also to utilize your or anyone else's or everyone else's time, energy, attention, talents, magnetism, aura, like anything, any resources or any capabilities, anything that any other person have, it becomes the target of a manipulator to use those things of other person for themselves, for their benefit. See, if someone is manipulating you, somewhere their intention is to take benefit of you, right? And how do I take benefit of someone else if I have to? How will I take benefit of someone else if I have to, if I have that intention or greed in myself? I will want to utilize their energy, their time and their attention for my benefit. I will want to use their talents, their capabilities, their name. Like some people's name has a lot of reputation because they have built that reputation over the time, over the years. So if I want to take benefit from someone, I would want to use whatever valuable thing that person has for my benefit. How will I do that? I will manipulate them into believing that doing certain things for me is actually their benefit, right? This is what manipulation is. So when someone wants to manipulate you, when someone wants to use you, when someone wants to utilize your potential, when someone wants to utilize your potential for their own benefit and nothing in return to you, no without any healthy reciprocation of your effort that you gave to their life, when someone wants to do that, they will not allow you to have your time to yourself. They will not allow you to have your energy, attention, talents, capabilities, all of the valuable thing that you possess to yourself. Why? Because see, if you are using everything that God gave you, that nature gave you for yourself, then it will be reciprocated in your life automatically, obviously, right? And that is how it is supposed to be for every human. Nature made us that way. But when someone is greedy or narcissistic and does not wants to work on themselves and develop the gifts that God or nature has given them, then what this greedy person do, they instead try to take the shortcut. They, instead of working on their own gifts and developing those gifts, they choose to manipulate other people into believing that by doing things for them, the other people are benefiting themselves. Okay, so this is, they are like deceiving. This is so evil. Even like the tiniest intention, the tiniest thought where it all starts, that I can use other people, like if someone has even this thought that I can use other people for my benefit, that is so evil in itself. But people who are manipulators and who are narcissists, they build their whole personality, that their whole ego, that is the false self, their whole self, which is a false self, is built around this notion that they deserve to use people and people deserve to be used by them, just because those people are kind and they believe when someone says something to them, because they are honest in their hurt, so they somewhere think and believe that other people are honest too. But it is not so, especially in case of narcissists and manipulators. So when someone has to when someone wants to manipulate you, when someone has that intention of taking benefit of you, they will never allow you to have your time with yourself. They will never allow you to be at rest, at ease within yourself. Why? Because see, to manipulate a human brain, a human mind, which has evolved over epochs, not just years, which has evolved not just over years but over years, centuries, epochs, eras, and something that I cannot remember, like I cannot even put into words. But when we study biology, we study there that human brain has evolved over like a lot of time, and from the least developed organism to the most advanced, the most advanced and the most developed organism that we are, the brain has developed a lot. Okay, and to deceive this, okay, to deceive this brain which has evolved over so much of time, a person has to create circumstances such that they decrease or reduce the analyzing or evaluating capacity of this advanced, highly evolved structure or organ in the most highly advanced being on the planet. To deceive or to trick this highly advanced, highly evolved organ of a highly advanced being, which is human, any Homo sapien. The person who is intending to deceive or trick this has to create such circumstances which reduce the decision making, the analyzing, the evaluation capability of this organ. Okay, so when someone manipulates you, how does they do it in the first place? They create, when someone has to manipulate you, how does they do that? They create urgency, they create an illusion of urgency, they rush, they speak fast, they pretend a body language which creates a sense of urgency, they behave in such a way that creates panic, they create invisible tension among people or group of people or around that one particular person whose they want to take maximum benefit of, from whom they want to extract maximum value that they can, right? To manipulate any human on this planet, to trick the brain of any Homo sapien, any human on this planet, the brain, which is the brain of the most advanced being among the all animal kingdom, in fact all of the organisms, all of the living beings, to trick that brain, that is a very precise task in itself. And yes, the mankind, there have been people in this very mankind who have mastered this very task, this very precise skill or task of manipulating other people, of making other people believe what they want them to believe. The very mankind has developed this skill, which can be used positively in some scenarios, but mostly it is used for negative intentions, greedy, selfish intentions. The mankind itself has developed and mastered this skill over the years of tricking the brain of its fellow beings into believing what they want them to believe. Okay, so this is a very powerful thing that I'm trying to explain, that I'm trying to get you into, that the very simple thing that we just take it very easily, like manipulation happens, people manipulate, and yeah, but have you ever think that to manipulate a brain that has evolved over like so many, over all the animal hierarchy, like this brain, it is like the most developed and advanced brain among all the living animals that you have ever heard of or not heard of. And not just this brain, but several other like sensory receptors and different kind of intelligence that works in a human body, that has also evolved over a long time, and a lot of several different circumstances, okay, which were very harsh. So yes, this brain and all that kind of intelligence that is present in any human body, those are very hard to be tricked by anything. But because in modern world there are several ways and several tools to create illusion and manipulation of different kind. And because the ancient science to master one's own self and master one's own innate powerful capabilities and all kind of intelligence that is present within self is lost, because the science, the ancient wisdom to master one's own or one's own all powerful capabilities and intelligence is somewhere lost or has been lost a connection with, because of these two things. First, because of the presence of so much illusion in modern world, and secondly because of the laws of connection within with one's true self, with one's capabilities, or better to say with the knowledge and the awareness of one's capabilities and powers. It has become easier, way more easier, to trick and manipulate a brain and a composite of all kind of intelligences that are present integratedly in a human being so easily. Otherwise it would not have been so easy to manipulate or deceive anyone into anything. But because the surplus amount of illusion creating tools are present and that are present in modern day, and because of the loss of connect with the ancient wisdom in the modern day, it has become comparatively much more easier to manipulate anyone into anything. But again, coming to the main topic, the condition which is present in the modern time, or which is normalized in the modern time, which is the normal, which is that when someone, which is that manipulation happens, and it happens often, a lot. And in that circumstance, when someone has to manipulate you, they will create confusion, they will create illusion. That is the only way to trick your brain, your mind, by making it question itself, by making it question its own intelligence, its own cognitive abilities, its own analyzing abilities, its own abilities to observe, watch, evaluate, and analyze the reality. It is the only way to weaken a mind. It is the only way. Like you can harm a mind only through that mind. To manipulate someone, to harm them, to harm someone mentally, you cannot do anything from outside. You have to plant a seed. You have to plant a seed of self-doubt, of self-questioning, not self-questioning, self-doubt into that person's mind, to make them weaken over the time period by again and again and again watering or nurturing that seed which you have planted before. That is the only way to weaken a highly developed mind. Generally, every mind when a human is born is pretty much able to differentiate between things and question things and tell difference between what is lie and what is truth. But the more a mind is manipulated, the more a person is gaslighted, the more they become doubting themselves, the more they become lesser confident in themselves. So it happens over time, it does not happen in one day, but it happens always through creating confusion or creating illusion. And the confusion and the illusion can really sustain only in speed, panic, crowd, or noise. Among all such kind of disturbances, only among all such kind of disturbances, the illusion can sustain. The moment you move the noise, the moment you move the rush, the speed, the moment you move the crowd, the moment you sit in silence with yourself, the truth starts to reveal itself and the illusions have already fallen. So, when someone wants to manipulate you, the more they want to manipulate you, the lesser they will allow you to have your time to yourself, the lesser they will allow you to enjoy time with yourself, the lesser they will let you to be with yourself. Though there is a one tactic of manipulation or one step in manipulation where the manipulator or the narcissist forces or indirectly forces or makes the person that they want to manipulate isolate from everyone that actually really genuinely cares for that person. This is one of the tactic of manipulators, that they, if they want to manipulate you, they will make sure that you are like literally separated and disconnected and distant and far away and isolated and alone from anyone and everyone that genuinely truly cares for you and loves you and do not want to take a benefit of you. Unlike them, they will make sure that it happens. And it happens also that when they, that any general human whose brain is not ready for tackling such manipulation tactics, or any woman who is very genuine, very naive, very kind and sensitive, and they just do not they just don't think that why would anyone be so bad and untruthful. These people fall in such traps very easily. So it's very easy for a narcissist or a manipulator to actually weaken such people or weaken their mind by making them lonely, by isolating them from people that genuinely care for them. But the loneliness is loneliness only in the starting. अकेलापन केवल प्रारंभ में होता है. यदि आप अकेलेपन को लंबे समय तक साध पाएं, यदि आप लंबे समय तक अपने आप के साथ बैठ पाएं, इफ़ यू आर एबल टू सस्टेन द साइलेंस and the loneliness, the alone time for a longer time, for a longer duration, it does not remain loneliness, it does not remain silence, it becomes wisdom, it becomes clarity, it becomes solitude. The loneliness becomes solitude, silence becomes internal peace, and the anxiety, the restlessness that was earlier there within you, it slowly transforms into a state of stability and security and safety within oneself. the restlessness, or the illusion that you need people, that you cannot live with them, sorry, that you cannot live without them, and that neediness, that desperation. When you sit long enough with yourself, you realize that you will not die without anyone. You will survive through anything, and without anyone you can do it. You are the most advanced being on this planet. When you sit long enough with your silence, with your everything that you are, when you sit long enough with that, you start realizing your own power. Everything that is the ancient wisdom that you have lost touch with starts coming back, when, only when you dare to sit with yourself for long enough. So initially, when a manipulator or a narcissist starts manipulating people, they make sure that the person is isolated from everyone who genuinely cares for them and can actually help them navigate through that manipulator's manipulation tactics. But the more you get manipulated, the more narcissist becomes confident that, oh, I am good, I have got this person, and now this person cannot escape through my manipulation. The more they become confident, the more they become careless as well. And slowly, as you are a victim, a survivor in that manipulation, and somewhere the brain and all the intelligence and all the capabilities that are within your system, your own brain is actually trying to fight with the confusion that the manipulator has caused in your life. All of your internal system, they are somewhere trying to combat, fight, and win over all of the chaos and confusion that has been created around you. Though our body is always trying to save us, similarly our brain is always trying to save us, and every kind of intelligence and capability that is within us, all of those things, everything, like the existence that we are in ourselves, it is so self-sustaining in itself that it is always trying to save us. It is only we that often end up making stupid choices out of our uncontrolled emotions, that we make this existence, this very powerful self-sustaining existence of ourselves, end up in so devastatingly destructed and drained conditions that from there it becomes too hard for this self-sustaining existence itself to bring itself back. It is only our doing, it is only our mistake, it is actually our own actions and decisions that create problems sometimes, and actually many times it is only our actions and decisions that create an obstacle in the alignment that our own existence will otherwise create. Okay, so what I was trying to say here is that our system is always trying to save us. So when the manipulator becomes overconfident about a person, that I have manipulated this person, I have get my grasp on this person's mind, so they also start to become a little bit more carefree. And when that happens, they lose somewhat control over you. They miss out certain details, and in that particular time period, the warrior within you the warrior within the victim, the warrior within the mind which is being exploited by the manipulator. It starts rebuilding its identity, it starts rebuilding its mental capabilities, it starts to find ways through which it can navigate through illusions and manipulation. So when your body, your internal being, your nervous system is trying to heal itself, to develop itself, to be able to combat what is daily thrown upon it, it slowly and slowly starts becoming a little bit more stronger and developed every single day towards the thing that it is facing every single day constantly, like confusion, or like the loneliness, the painful silence, or the painful sense of being lonely or left alone. It starts to become developed and strong enough to combat those feelings or those state of minds. If you really see the loneliness, the silence, the grief, these are just barely certain states of mind. If you how do I put this, if you are able to master your own mind enough, you are able to jump through or overcome, simply flow through your states. Like our mind has several different states, it moves through different states. Some states take us higher, some states take us lower, some are intermediate, like that. So these are only states: the feeling of loneliness, the silence, the bitter painful silence, the sadness, the confusion. These are just states. Once your mind is mastered enough, aware enough, it starts to move through these states, or better to say, it starts to just observe these states and not associate with them, not attach with them, not getting involved with them. It starts to observe them. And the more your mind's capability to observe things increases and develops, the more it becomes comfortable with being being with oneself, being in silence, being in solitude, and being able to just accept what is, how is, and being able to navigate things, evaluate things, analyze things, and find out whatever is being tried to hide from it. So when a mind develops these abilities, the ability to sit with oneself for a longer time, it starts to open up the fountain of clarity and wisdom within oneself. Okay, so when you have mastered this very simple practice or skill of sitting with oneself or being with oneself for a longer duration, the isolation which was being used up until now to torture you or drain your energy or make you feel weak by the narcissist, by an energy or a being that was outside of you, right? The isolation which was used against you up until now starts to transform in solitude, that isolation. And sorry, huh? Yeah, right. The isolation, which was up until now was being used against you to control you, to weaken you, now it starts to serve as a temple, as a charging place for you, as it starts to work like a sacred space, an altar, and not an a temple. That isolation now becomes a place where you charge, you recharge, your brain recharges. The loneliness has now transformed into solitude. The silence has now become internal peace. The neediness, desperation, and the fear, the restlessness, all of that has now transformed into a sense of safety, security, and stability, and a sense of completion within oneself. So now, when someone is not afraid to be alone, when someone who has been tortured so badly, who had been made to feel highly disrespectful and like really bad for just wanting people, and sorry, I just got lost somewhere. What I was saying is that when someone who has been hurt so much and manipulated so much and literally tortured so much emotionally, mentally, verbally, physically, behaviorally, in any way possible, when someone who has been hurt so much and given only pain and harshness and disrespect and abuse of any and every kind, and someone who has been literally broken down or being tried to broken down with any means or in any way possible, when someone like that stands on his or her own feet even after all of that, like when someone who has been thrown into hell every single day for a long time, like years and years, still dares to stand up on his or her own feet, that person is like so much strength. And the narcissist and the manipulator can always sense that and they can feel that, they can literally feel the shivering sensation in their body, in their brain, in their mind, when they see someone who they have thrown into hell for so many years starts to coming out of it without losing anything of their themselves that was important or valuable. That scares the narcissist, that scares the manipulator. And this happens in long term abuse. Sometimes when the abuse does not goes on for so long, like it is for months or weeks, because some people are better able to recognize, acknowledge the manipulation or abuse that someone is practicing with them, because of the availability of so much knowledge and awareness and tools that are available to us through social media in the modern times. When that happens, when the abuse is long term, short term, and the manipulation is short term, so some people are able to recognize things very faster, very quickly. So even then too, whenever the manipulator or the narcissist is able to recognize that, that the person that they are trying to manipulate or weaken their mind by trying to isolate them, make them lonely, does not anymore is scared of loneliness. Is like when they it's like, you know, it's like, what I'm trying to tell here is, it's so funny and so intelligent and powerful in itself. It's like, you know, when you are constantly using some kind of mosquito repellent or mosquito killing spray or something on mosquitoes for a very long time, and after a certain time the mosquitoes develop a certain immunity in themselves, that they are no longer impacted by that spray. Okay, so it is similar like that here. When someone keeps you manipulating or torturing, humiliating, disrespecting for a really long time, you develop a certain sense of resilience. You like, literally, you develop that strength within oneself, you develop that vigor, that resilience, that grit within you, within yourself, that doesn't matter whatever the manipulator or the narcissist throws at you. You are just so immune to all of it that you are just no longer getting impacted by any of it, and the narcissist or the manipulator can feel it. Okay, so they can feel it in their bones, their energy fucking shivers, their bone shivers. They are scared to death when they realize that the person they tortured so much for such a long time had come out unaffected through all of the hell that they went through. So whenever someone is trying to manipulate you, they will not allow to have your time to yourself, because in that time you can get clarity and you can literally see through all the illusions that the narcissist is trying to put you into. So the more someone is trying to manipulate you, the lesser they will allow you to have your time to yourself. Okay, and I was thinking that maybe the video has got longer, but I have realized that the amount of wisdom and insights that I have to offer to people, they are actually something that is very heavy knowledge, that is a very heavy wisdom to witness, to listen, to receive, to process, to understand, to sustain within oneself, to consolidate and to sustain within oneself over a long period of time. And therefore it comes out only in long duration kind of content, long duration kind of format through me. So I should rather not stop or restrict myself by bothering about कि वीडियो बहुत लंबी हो गई है और the video has gotten a little long. So yeah, we will continue. I have a few more things to say on this same topic further, which I want to say. I don't know really what exactly is my audience. Somewhere I know, but I'm not sure about the language. So I am somewhere, I feel English is good for me, and there is something that I got as an insight and I wanted to share it, but it's in Hindi, so I will now speak in Hindi. So what I was trying to say कि नार्सिसिस्ट या मैनिपुलेटर जो होते हैं, वो लोग दूसरों की ऊर्जा पे, दूसरों की एनर्जी पे भोग करते हैं, भोग खाना खाते हैं, लाइक उस ऊर्जा का भक्षण करते हैं। दे फीड ऑन अदर पीपल्स एनर्जी। सो अगर कोई इंसान आपकी ऊर्जा पर, आपके वक्त पर, आपके ध्यान पर, आपकी कलाओं, प्रतिभाओं, हर उस चीज़ पर भक्षण करना चाहता है, उसका भोग करना चाहता है, जो आपके अंदर है, जो आपको ईश्वर ने दिया, आपके गुणों पर भोग करना चाहता है, जो आपको ईश्वर ने दिया, जिसको आपने भी खुद और ज़्यादा निर्मित किया, जिसका आपने निर्माण किया अपने जीवन के अनुभवों और अपनी मेहनत से, अपने ध्यान से, अपने धैर्य से। जब कोई इंसान आपकी उन सब चीज़ों पर भोग करना चाहता है, तो वो अपने लिए यूज़ करना चाहता है ना, आपके वक्त को, आपकी ऊर्जा को, आपके ध्यान को, आपकी हर एक चीज़ को, तो वो आपको क्यों मौका देगा कि आप अपने वक्त को अपने आप के साथ बिता सको, कि आप अपनी ऊर्जा को, अपनी ज़िंदगी को बेहतर बनाने में लगा सको, कि आप अपने ध्यान को अपने दिमाग की कन्फ्यूज़न दूर करने में लगा सको, कि आप अपनी कला और प्रतिभाओं से अपना जीवन बेहतर बना सको, अपना नाम बना सको, अपने जीवन में और पावर, अथॉरिटी, फ्रीडम ला सको हर तरीके की। किसी भी तरह से आप अपने आप को मजबूत या स्ट्रॉन्ग बना सको, ऐसा चांस आपको वो इंसान जो आपको मैनिपुलेट करना चाहता है, यूज़ करना चाहता है, अपने बेनिफिट के लिए अपनी लाइफ को डेवलप करना चाहता है आपके थ्रू, ऐसा इंसान आपको ये मौका क्यों देगा कि आप अपने अंदर की हर पोटेंशियल को, हर वैल्यू को अपने लिए यूज़ कर सको? क्यों? तो वो लोग जो आपको कभी अकेला रहने नहीं देते, आपके स्पेस की रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करते, आपकी बाउंड्रीज़ की रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करते, आपकी प्राइवेसी की रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करते, जो आपको 2 पल के लिए अकेला नहीं छोड़ते कि आप शांति से अपने आप के साथ बैठ सको, वो लोग, ये जो साइन है ना, जो आपसे क्लिंग करते रहते, चिपकते रहते हैं ना लोग, चाहे वो आपके घर परिवार में कोई हो, रिश्तेदार में कोई हो, आपका दोस्त हो स्कूल कॉलेज में, आपके वर्क प्लेस में कोई एम्प्लॉई हो, आपको बॉस वगैरह हो, आपको कोई टीचर भी हो, और आपके गर्लफ्रेंड, बॉयफ्रेंड, पार्टनर हो, फैमिली मेम्बर, कोई भी हो, कोई भी इंसान जो आपको भोगना चाहता है ना, आपको कंज्यूम करना चाहता है, आपको खाना चाहता है, आपकी एनर्जी पे फीड करना चाहता है, आपकी ऊर्जा का भक्षण करना चाहता है, आपके अंदर की हर गुणवत्ता का इस्तेमाल अपने लिए करना चाहता है, अपनी ज़िंदगी को बिल्ड करना चाहता है आपकी मेहनत, आपके कंधों पे, वो व्यक्ति आपको एकांत नहीं देगा। वो आपको भोगते रहना चाहेगा कि क्यों मेरा फ़ोन नहीं उठा रहे हो, क्यों मुझसे बात नहीं की, क्यों मेरी बात मैंने कुछ बात बोली, क्यों मेरे को जवाब नहीं दिया। ये जो एक बिहेवियर है ना, बहुत कॉमन ट्रेट अमंग द होल मैनकाइंड। बाकी सब चीज़ें बहुत कॉम्प्लेक्स हो सकती है, बट ये जो एक छोटी सी ट्रेट है, छोटा सा बिहेवियर, कि वो सब लोग जो हर वक्त आप पे ऐसे करते रहते हैं ना, मुझको फ़ोन क्यों नहीं दिया, मेरा मैसेज क्यों नहीं देखा, ये क्यों नहीं, क्या हुआ, मतलब देयर ओनली कंसर्न इज़ दिस कि भाई मुझको क्यों नहीं दी ऊर्जा किसी भी फॉर्मेट में, मुझको क्यों नहीं दी, छाती पीट के जो पागल होते रहते हैं ना लोग, कि मुझको क्यों नहीं दिया। ये उनका, तुम देखो, इकलौता कंसर्न ये कि तुमसे उन्हें कुछ मिला नहीं। ये रेड फ्लैग है, बहुत ही बड़ा रेड फ्लैग। मैं इंटरनेट लैंग्वेज में जो है रेड फ्लैग वगैरह, मैं इन सब चीज़ों में बिल्कुल ध्यान नहीं देती थी, कोई विश्वास नहीं करती थी, कुछ नहीं। बट अभी जो मैं बता रही हूँ ना, कोई इंसान हर वक्त बस तुमसे लेने में ही लगा रहता है ना, किसी भी फॉर्म में, कुछ भी, तुम्हारा वक्त, तुम्हारी एनर्जी, तुम्हारी अटेंशन, जो चाहता ही नहीं कि तुम 2 पल को अपनी ज़िंदगी में अपने आप के साथ भी वक्त बिता लो, वो है अंदर से बहुत ज़्यादा खाली, ठीक है, और वो भोग ही कर रहा है तुम्हारा, वो रिश्ता नहीं होता। ये इस तरीके के बिहेवियर, जहाँ तुम्हें जहाँ दिखे ना कि कोई इंसान तुम्हें भोग कर रहा है, इस तरीके का बिहेव कर रहा है, अपने दिमाग को समझा लो वहाँ पे कि ये साइन है, बहुत चमकता हुआ लाल झंडा दिख गया है, देख लो उसे, आके फाड़ के, और दिमाग में बिठा लो कि ये रिश्ता नहीं है, ये रिलेशनशिप नहीं होता, ये बॉन्ड नहीं होता, ये क्या बोलेंगे इसको, कहते हैं एक्सप्लॉयटेशन। एक दूसरा इंसान है जो तुमसे बस एनर्जी सोख किए जा रहा है, एक जब हम केमिस्ट्री पढ़ते थे ना स्कूल में, रसायन, तो उसमें हमें एक चीज़ पढ़ाती थी कि अलग अलग प्रकार के रसायन होते हैं, अलग केमिकल्स होते हैं। तो वो मतलब जो वो बनते हैं जो केमिकल्स, तो जो वो एक छोटे स्तर पे जब वो बॉन्ड बनाते हैं ना, तो वो बॉन्ड अलग अलग तरीके के बनते हैं। कि कुछ बॉन्ड ऐसे होते हैं जिनमें दोनों चीज़ें ये जो ये बॉन्ड बना रही है ना, वो इक्वल का कंट्रीब्यूट करती हैं। और कुछ बॉन्ड ऐसे होते हैं जिनमें बस एक ही कंट्रीब्यूट करता है, ठीक है, दूसरा कुछ नहीं करता, ठीक है। तो वैसे ही जो इंसान भी होते हैं, उनमें जब रिश्ते बनते हैं, तो रिश्ता सही मायने में वो होता है जहाँ पे रिश्ता बराबरी का होता है। ये एक बात, एक स्टेटमेंट बिठा लीजिए अपने दिमाग में, रिश्ता बराबरी का होता है, ठीक है, जहाँ पे दो लोग बराबरी से कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं। आप हमेशा ज़िंदगी भर बैठ के यही एनालाइज नहीं कर सकते कि मैंने कितना कंट्रीब्यूट किया, क्या सामने वाले ने उतना किया या नहीं किया। इम्परफेक्शन होता है, बट सर्कमस्टांसेस चेंज होने के साथ में भी ये चीज़ चेंज होती रहती है कि कभी कोई ज़्यादा कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है, कभी कोई कम। बट इम्पॉर्टेंट थिंग इज़ कि ऐसा बॉन्ड जहाँ पे दूसरा इंसान आपको सोख रहा हो, आप ही से सब एनर्जी लिए जा रहा है, आपको कुछ नहीं दे रहा, सिर्फ जब आप उसे छोड़ के जाने के लिए मेंटल क्लैरिटी डेवलप कर ले रहे हो अपने अंदर, और उसको ये चीज़ दिख रही है कि अभी इंसान जा सकता है, तो